See how it's doing. How's everyone out there? How's your week of energy been? Do you know what? I wanted to do like another energy update at some point um, because of various things. A lot to do with the energies that have been going around. And, I was talking about the void that came out of things in the way of energy. There was a big drop in the way of energies. And it wasn't really a drop in the way of energies. Everything came back to its harmonious state, as it were. And because we've been going through so much transition over so long periods of time, we almost forgot what it was like just to be at peace with life. And, it sometimes can be difficult to deal with that sort of thing. So, there was, a lot of sort of having to sort of like sort of come to terms with things. Good morning, Lynn. How you doing, Frasier? How you doing, Nikota? How you doing? Many blessings to all. Yes, thanking you. Hi from Australia, to Australia to Lynn and that. Good morning. Yes, it's early in the morning for you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. We will be going into healing today and talking about that for quite a bit. I'm going to be rabbiting on a bit as people gradually turn up, as it were. But and then we're going to be looking at a few questions. I think, Frasier, you had one question, didn't you? I'm not too sure. I know there was one from Julie and Jackie as well. Julie, how you doing? We're going to be looking at your back a little bit later on. So having a look at that. Maria, how you doing? Lovely to see you. Haven't seen you for some time. I finally made it to it live. Visiting Mexico. It's a great time of day. It's a great time of day. Excellent. How is Mexico? I hope Mexico's fine and dandy for you. Doing well there. It must be some point in the afternoon. Nice time for you. Mid-afternoon. Lovely. On the Sunday. So Rainbow Flower, lovely to see you as well. Welcome. So the energy was difficult to get our heads around, but difficult to get the feeling about it. And sometimes it may have the sensation that things were just a little bit slow and lethargic, sometimes a little bit, which can cause a little bit of frustration and stuff like that. And it's getting on and doing silently in the background. You look very fancy with your haircut. Do you know what? My daughter, Eva, I am Coral. How you doing? My daughter cut my hair, and I'm the first person she's ever cut hair. That's her first ever haircut, and to be honest, she's done a very good job. Didn't you, Eva? Yeah. Hey, she's just popped her head round the corner, smiling. Come and say hello. You know what I mean? People want to see the hairdresser. You know what I mean? You're chuffed to bits, aren't you? She's so chuffed. You gonna come and say hello quickly? Yeah, just pop your head in. Let me just so you can see. Yeah. So, Eva.
Hey.
Yes, she's an amazing person. An amazing person with a thirst for life, I think, and understanding and exploring things, which is really good, and she's probably got a little bit of that from me as well. But very interesting spirit. No night, love. Yeah, she's off to bed. Bless her. So thank you very much. Yeah, I've got a new haircut. And I'm very chuffed with it, and I'm chuffed with it. I had faith in Eva being her first ever haircut of it working well. So, and it did work well. So I'm all right, But I've done some amazing things to my hair in the past, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Some of them look good, some of them look really bad. But yeah. So anyway, back to the energies, healing and so forth. So I will be starting a healing channel coming up at some point in the very near future, just before Christmas actually. And going to be going into a lot of the sort of techniques I use and study cases in regards to how something can present itself energetically. And it's not always as straightforward as we think, and there's more than one way of approaching a situation. And one of the first things, and I've talked about this before, and I've done, there was a video, there was a talk that I did in the Day of a Life of a Healer sort of thing, where, each problem that we encounter that comes out of the blue, there is some encounter. Okay, so each encounter that we encounter through our physical body is made up of you have an emotional component, you have a physical component, and you have an energetic component, which is more sort of like spiritual than anything else. And sometimes it's 90% physical, quite literally. There's not a lot of a message in there. There's not a lot of spirit in there. It could be inheritance. I've inherited my mum's teeth, not my dad's. There is certain physical things. So when you're approaching a situation, a healing, you've got to understand that sometimes you're dealing with something that's totally physical, and so I could be talking to someone, like, for example, I had one of my clients is like they do marathons, not marathons, they're sort of like Ironmans, but really big Ironmans where they're going to be running for sort of like 100k, maybe even more than that. You know what I mean? Doing sort of like equivalent of sort of like 4 or 5 marathons over 3 days. And, it's a physical sort of thing that goes along with it. And it's like understanding the mechanics of the body and the stress and strain that comes through that situation allows you to then, find a solution for them physically rather than emotionally and so forth. Because, emotions can override the body, and the body will just follow through sometimes, and it will, put up with a lot of stuff, physical sort of problems in order to get through the emotion sort of situation. So, and it's finding that balance between it all. And sometimes, there's things that turn up in our life that has a much stronger message than it is physical, and it's what's that sort of situation when we create our own illness. So it's auto something, it could be created out of the emotional state. It could be created out of the energetic state and the spiritual sort of state as well. So when we're doing healing, this is because in France, there's many different words for someone who does that sort of work. There's a magnétiseur, there's a healer or guérisseur. There's a multitudes of those sort of things. And once you start doing healing, you're encompassing the whole thing. So you're not only like a magnétiseur, which is someone who basically puts their hands on the ill or the painful part and takes it away, basically. That's what sort of like a magnétiseur does. And I was always curious of why they had that problem and that situation. And then you enter into a situation where you can't just take something away from someone. They've got to understand something about themselves as they go through that process. And if you can help them with that process, help them with that understanding, therefore you will be cutting off the root of the problem. So therefore it shouldn't be really resurfacing within their life. And, so you're not in as a So I help people to heal. I don't heal people as such. I help people to heal themselves. That's the whole idea. And I think that's the general sort of way or the approach that I go about things. And it's trying to open up the understanding of other people so they can see their life clearly for what it is, and what's going on. Morning, Ali. Morning, all. Morning, Ali. No, morning, all. Chrissy, lovely to see you. Yes, welcome. So, we're going to be going into that a little bit later on with some of the sort of questions with that. And, if it gets too personal, I will try and sort of, I don't want to obviously not bring too much personal stuff onto the table in a YouTube live, but it's we will dig deep into it, as it were. Okay, let me just well said, Pinkster. It's the first time I've seen you, Pinkster. I think. Welcome. Well said. Thank you. Yeah, so it's something, I with children, because obviously a lot of us have children and stuff like that. With children and people who have children and people who have problems with their children, or a problem of connection with their children, it can be both sides. It doesn't necessarily mean that the child or the parent, it's always it's always a duality, or and both sets of people engage in it together rather than it comes uniquely from one side. And sometimes with children, you have to let them bang their heads against the wall till they realise that banging their head against the wall hurts their head. If you put yourself between the child and the wall, they'll just be banging their head against you and you'll feel the pain, but the child will never learn anything, if you know what I mean. Clodagh, are you from Wales, or are you from Scotland? Hello, I'd be very grateful for insights into my work situation. Thank you. Okay, we'll have a look at that at some point, because that's all part and parcel of the healing process as well. Life, sometimes you got to deal with life, not necessarily just the physical side. I deal with a lot with physical stuff, obviously. People come and see me for the problem with their backs, for their problem with their digestion system, or problem with sleeping, or problem with illnesses, particular illnesses, and so forth. But it's also it's part and parcel about how how we engage in life as well, which is really important. So if you end up doing a job, or doing a pathway that just causes you nothing but stress, that at some point you've got to stop that stress, and at some point your body will speak to you and say, hey, look, we're overloading on this stress here. And the only way for you to actually hear their body speaking sometimes is it causes you pain. And it's getting into that and discovering that of why why that stress, or that point of stress within that part of your body is arising. That's the job of the healer, is to sort of like from the outside, because it's easy to do on the outside, because you're not living, you're living your life as a healer. You're not living the life of another person who's come to see you. When you're outside it, it's easier to see what's going on, as it were, So, you've got to address all of those sort of side of things. Yeah, I've lost the thread of where I was going with that now. But anyway, so yeah, it's like it's all part and parcel of it. And knowing that, and knowing that so bring it all the way back to that whole sort of like child thing of sort of like banging the heads against the wall. You've got to understand that sometimes, people need to go through problems in order to understand the situation. And it's at what limit you can help someone without, denying them the opportunity to understand their life, understand who they are. I think that's really important. And it's also, you got to help people with that, You've retracted your message. What was that all about? They've all been retracted. Anyway, thank you. It's no worries. I did a Okay, so this is from Chrissy. I did a meditation into my Akashic and asked what I need to learn from my past. The response that came through was just be. A little confused by that. Well, I keep repeating it. We've come to... I don't think there's probably anything for you to really learn, or... You go... Let's say you're a skier. Right? A professional downhill skier. And you know the downhill that you're going through. And you know the turns and everything like that. And you've learnt them. And you've been learning them for a long time. And, what it means by just be is now you've got to let the skis slide. You've got to let them roll. You've got to let them flow. And when you do, you will remember everything that you need to remember. But if you're spending your time kind of worrying about, the next bend, I've got to be like this and I've got to be like that, you don't feel the flow of it. And you will then miss that opportunity of kind of going, I flow through it like this and I flow through it like that, sort of thing. Raymond, how you doing? Lovely to see you. Bit nippy up north, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I think it's basically sort of saying you don't need to learn anything. Maybe that was the thing that it was sort of saying to you. You don't need to learn anything, Chrissy. It's just a case of you just need to be it now. It's like you've gone through university, you've got the degree, now you've got to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of. I think it's that I think that's what the answer was for you, more than anything else. Well, as far as I can see, that's what the answer was for you from my side. Okay, this is from Lynn. This is does a particular part of the body always resonate with the same energetic, spiritual, and emotional state? Yes, but if I was to say to you determination, that can have many connotations, as it were. So I think emotions, we can boil them down to something, an essence. If you were to say, what is love? What is anything in life in regards to an emotion? It has so many different nuances. This is why sometimes we take a word and we brand it around and it becomes worthless. Because we brand it around. It's like if the streets were paved with gold wouldn't be worth a thing. You could just walk out and go and pick up a load of gold. It wouldn't be worth anything. So, I think that's that, it does tend to correspond with a certain aspect of it all. And I've done this many, and I've said this many before. The one that really, really stands out is sort of breast cancer. In relation to the stress that people retain according to offspring, if you've got offspring or not. There is a inheritance aspect to it all as well. It's got to be said. But in regards to energetically, that's where we sort of stock it. It's like the liver, the way in which you use your. Because the liver is situated in... There it is, just there. My liver's just there. How you doing, my friend? You know what I mean? Oh, no, yes, it's on that side. I think it is. It's... it's like it's halfway between the heart chakra and the solar plexus. It plays a very particular role in regards to passion and so forth. So it's, there is definite a signature to, and I was working this out today actually. The heart, so if you're confronted with a situation, an emotional situation, and if you could associate a frequency with that emotion, you would be able to see whether it falls between the heart and the throat and the solar plexus, or between the throat and the heart chakra. But to what extent? And there's a certain sort of like chart, as it were, for the emotions in regards to, the energy that we use and how we deal with the emotional situation depends on where it strikes us within our energy system. So our energy system, this is another reason why I do the chakra sequencing, because once you know your chakra sequencing, and I'm going to take it to the next level after Christmas, where I'm going to be encouraging people to use it like a mantra in a way, the chakra sequencing that you can create for you, knowing the general chakra sequencing and how you can apply it in the future in order to, hit your peaks, as it were. And so as the energy sort of like plays into you, it's sort of like it can then have effects upon different parts of your body, because it's being used a lot within that section there, more than anything else. Did I answer the question, Mads? Was it Mads? Mads? But if you were saying hello to you, I'm sorry if I didn't answer it as quickly. I try and get around to everybody. It's definitely it does hit a certain place. It's like within your speaking of frequencies, do you put any credence into Rife machines? Okay, is this the Rife machines? Is the things you hold on to? Let me check that first. Make sure that's correct. Yeah. Is that what the Rife machine is? The problem you get with a machine is that you need a machine to interpret it. And then the human will interpret the machine. And why put something between, why put something between you and the true interpretation? Okay, and lovely to see you. I sometimes do meditative exercise, walking through fields, responding in colour to each chakra. Oh, that's quite nice. Harmonizing or clarifying as required. Absolutely beautiful. Have you ever seen the film Hero? It's a martial arts film. Absolutely beautiful film. I think it's the most beautiful film I've ever seen, visually. And each scene has a different color, and it treats the chakras and everything like that in a similar sort of way. So Rife machines, is that the machines you hold? So yeah, it's like the Killian photographs as well. Why put, the problem I have with it, it's a little bit like, what was his name? Nikola Tesla. When he was creating his own electricity, taking a static electricity out of the air, converting it into electricity so we could use it. And he was asked, where do you put the counter, the meter? And he says, that's the best thing about it. You don't need a meter. And that's why he got canned, And it's... we are the technology in the sense of energy. Yeah, totally. That's exactly what I mean. I just like kind of going. give it credence. Why would you put something in between you and in what you can truly sense, see, and feel yourself? I think it's so bells, chimes, and singing bowls connect more directly with the body for healing. It creates the environment in order for the healing to happen. There's still a massive step between sound and energy. There's still a massive step between the two, because you can't hear physically what the earth is making as a sound, but I guarantee you it's making a sound. It's making a harmonious sound as much as the sun is. And we can interpret that sound through different frequencies that come off of the sun and so forth. But at the same time, it's a massive leap. I think it's a very good thing, the sound. I think sound is brilliant, but there's been studies of sounds on, for example, on wasps, that people are then just sort of kind of going, well, if that happens to a wasp, that's got to happen to us. And that's just a step too far. There's things that my dog can hear, that Cody, where's he gone? He's somewhere about. That Cody can hear that I can't, and will affect him enormously. And that's what I mean. It's like, it depends on where you are in the situation. So I think chimes and everything like that and music is absolutely brilliant. And I think it's a contributory factor of being, being well and in a good place. Yeah, I think it's definitely something that we can most certainly use. Greg Biden said our body is the technology we need. Yeah, totally. That's exactly what it is. Greg, he's gone a bit ET-ish recently, hasn't he? I think. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I don't know. I don't really follow too much in that sort of sense. But yeah, let me just catch up on I was just catching up on the messages here. So this is Rainbow Indigo. Sorry, I've missed quite a few. Indigo. I feel the heavy energy in my chest, but I admit I have felt like I've been on an emotional roller coaster. Those around me too. It feels like that. That's what transition is. It's like, and then all of a sudden, okay. It's a bit like, it's jumping from one timeline to another. That's the transition, and it can be emotionally draining, simply because it's going to be using a lot of your different energies that are in this sort of section rather than just your brain. You know what I mean? Because no emotions can be in your brain, but it can feel emotionally stressful. And, if it's on your chest, you have to look into who you are as well. So, your star sign and what you do in life and everything like that, to get a full sort of reading of it all. But it could be just sort of like, like a weight on your words, and having to be emotionally walking on eggshells in order to get through. Maybe that's what that is all about, Indigo. Obviously you'd have to look a lot deeper into that, but, just off the top, as it were. So Rainbow Flower AU, I felt paralyzed for a long time, and next year carries a lot of pressure and change that I asked for. How does one break out of paralysis? Where's it gone? It's moved on. They've just moved all the comments up. Paralyzed. I felt paralyzed. Paralysis. That's what it is. When the weight of responsibility is so great, and you've asked for it. if you've asked for it and it's been given to you and it is a position of responsibility, it's probably because you are the only one that can shoulder it. And once you realize that, you're the only one who's going to, you're the one, it's like being an ice breaking boat. You're creating that passage for others to follow behind you. And once you realize that, you know, don't look at sides, look in front of you. And once you start looking in front of you, all of a sudden you're going to kind of go, we need to be over there. And these are the things that we need to go through. And this is what we need to do. And you can become very practical about it in a sense where you don't take on the weight of the thing and get stuck in that ice. You know, you pick out your pathway, which is good for you, and it will benefit everybody that follows in behind you. You know, rainbow. So I would accept it gladly, and accept that, you know, you are in that position because you are the person that's supposed to be in that position, as it were. Okay. I felt exhausted for ages. That's fluffy chick. So yeah, fluffy chick, it's like multitudes of things to look into there. Age, jobs, diet, there's loads of things. But if you're feeling really, really tired, you know, it could be iron deficiency. There's a lot of things to look into, more than anything else. But tiredness could be one of the things that comes out of feeling exhausted is if we spend too much in our brain and not enough. You know, the majority of the time you should be in your body, because that's where the interaction is more than anything else. You know, that's only 5% of your life. So, you know, if you're spending a lot of time there, it means the rest of your body is going to get beaten up, and sometimes that can be a major cause for exhaustion. You know, that's why I did this sort of like tea meditation thing, which I thought was really good. You know, so yeah, I explained about the hair earlier on. My daughter's my daughter's first ever haircut. So, you know, and she's really good. It's come out really well. I wonder too, Mary, about colours and energy. Totally. You know, colours, I think personally, colours have a, well, it's very similar to sound. It creates that, it creates the environment, so we can channel energy a lot easier, or we can use energy or direct energy more than anything else a lot easier because of the environment that it's in. And colour can play an enormous role upon things. It's like they did this experiment where they had two rooms that were exactly the same temperatures, and one room was painted red, the other one was painted blue, and blind people were asked to go into one room and the other room to see if there was a difference in temperature. And the majority, scientifically majority, chose the red room as being much more, being hotter than the blue room. So I think colour has a huge amount of effect on things, you know, and white is the composition of all colours, and black is the composition of all colours. You know, it's just the tonality of it all, and it affects us. It affects us in everything. I think I've explained this story before, but I had an amazing day where I had 10 people in one day, which I used to do a lot of. I used to like getting in the seat, and then I'd be there all day long, right through to 8-9 o'clock at night, and it was absolutely brilliant. I just love it. And I had this one person came in, and they had the same birthday, pretty much. You know, in fact, they had the same birthday, and one was much older than the other one. And they were two separate clients. They didn't know each other. One was completely dressed in white, and the other one was completely dressed in black. Yeah, they did exactly the same jobs, and this was in the countryside, and they were seamstress. and they'd had very similar experiences, and it was phenomenal. But the difference between the person who was dressed in white and the difference between the person who was dressed in black was phenomenal as well, in the sense that the person in white tended to be, she was older, much older, but had a much more positive outlook, although she'd been through difficult situations, very difficult situations in the earlier part of their life, and same with the person who was dressed in black. And it was just like, it was almost as if like I had to just sort of like, I'll take a bit from you and I'm going to give it to this person here, and I'll take a bit from you and I'll give it to this person here. That puts the pair of them both in balance. They had what the other person needed, but the colour thing was really, really striking. And, you can you can see this, and maybe too much colour. Just if someone's wearing a multitude of different colours, it could mean that they are fragmented and not on their path, as it were, because it's like the white that has been fragmented, or the black that has been fragmented into different colours. So it could change a lot of things. So, but colours, I think, are enormously important. Yeah, really important. I think I've been on the same roller coaster ride. This is from Lynn. I feel it in the stomach, which is really oh my god, it's just moved again. Which is really uncomfortable at times. Yeah, no, okay. So there's many things about the stomach. So when I'm looking at the stomach, and you can have bloating and stuff like that, which is basically trying to integrate a situation that you unresolved. And sometimes, you kind of like, you have a situation. I usually say to people, look, when your stomach is talking to you and it gives you those sort of like gripes and what have you, or it's bloated, there is obviously the physical factor about what you eat and everything like that. There's also that involved. But, just talking on an emotional or spiritual sort of sense, your stomach is telling you either one of three things. Well, either you're hungry, either you've got a gastroenteritis, or you got a situation around you that doesn't sit well with you. And a lot of time, I think it's that. And it's, if we ignore those situations, they accumulate just to the point where our stomach eventually kind of goes, look, we can't just keep ignoring this, and it gets a bit sort of like painful. So it could be a little bit about that as well, Lynn. It may be a case of that you knew you should be doing something, and we all do it. Don't worry. You know what I mean? We just kind of go, should I, shouldn't I? Oh, I don't know. And, we don't end up doing it. So that may cause that a little bit. But there's a lot tied into the stomach as well. It's tied into that solar plexus and etc. It's also that part of the body that does a huge amounts of transformation. So it's transforming everything, all the energy that we, the physical material energy that we put into our bodies, and it's extracting what the body needs from it. And that's what you need to do in the situation when you can feel your stomach. It's sort of going, goes, you kind of go, okay, so what situation? That's the situation. The problem is with Bob. And then you kind of say to Bob, hey, Bob, how you doing? Let's have a cup of tea. It'd be good to have a chat. And when you talk to Bob, the problem is a situation. It's not Bob and it's not you. And you're just there to solve or to create a solution for the situation. And when you're trying to create a solution for a situation, you've got to take out the words of judgment, which is you and I. And then you end up speaking with we and us. So it's the way we park cars makes our lives difficult, ours as well. Rather than sort of saying the way you park your car, Bob, makes my life difficult, because that's automatically going to go into confrontation. There is times when confrontation is necessary, but, it can be avoided, I think, majority of times and so forth. So, that could well be that. I only watched part I only watched part of 2 of Greg Biden's videos. Got what I needed to hear and left the rest. Fair enough. As long as you got what you needed to hear, that's exactly what it is. Not been sleeping for 3 nights. I think you put this in the message, didn't you? Yeah, you did, on Scorpio. So you, not usual for me. And you're a Scorpio. Okay, so, okay. So let's just have a look at, do you know what? I've realised that I haven't been bringing up the comments. It's not gonna, let me, is that right? Oh look, there's no comments on there now. Blimey. Hang on a second. Sorry about this. It's technical stuff. Don't know why that's not coming up. But yeah, well, obviously then it doesn't want to come up in the comments. That's fine. It's Mercury retrograde. Then I'll put it down to that. So let's have a look at you, Margaret. So if you just relax, okay, and we'll have a look into what's going on energetically and so forth. Okay, so just having a look at your aura here, just to the general form, the shape of it all and stuff like that. Just within the shape of it all, funny enough, it comes into, what Lynn asked earlier on about the stomach. Margaret, have you been ignoring something, or is there something that you've got to do that you're finding it difficult to do? Physically do, as it were, a pathway that you know that you should be taking, but it's maybe trying to do too much in it and so forth, which is thinking about the mechanical side of doing something. Is that the sort of let me. I can't. I've got to go back to the. So go back to say. Let me just pull that back up so I can see the comments. So it's been the same in my house. Kayan says it's been in my house quite wakeful, not usual. Very helpful from Rainflower. Excellent. Spot on. Definitely the situation. Time to face it and move forward. Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. Pleasure. So yes, there is. So just looking at your aura, just that, and that comes back to how Lynn was it Lynn who was saying earlier on about the different frequencies and stuff like that. Frasier asked something before I lose it. When you are healing, how do you discern the root cause? Do you ask the Akashic Library? Thinking of my right ankle. We'll get onto your right ankle in a minute. Yeah, your ankle on your leg. Is it on the right ankle? I haven't felt it yet. I'll feel it in a minute. But so just getting onto that around there, it feels like the solar plexus is. It's almost as if like you're defragmenting the situation permanently, coming up with the same answer, and it's. I almost feel like it's almost too big to do, sort of thing. It's almost like sometimes you may, and this is where the overthinking thing may be coming in. It's kind of going, I've got to do this, but where do I start? It's such a big thing. It's like looking at a forest, sort of saying, I've got to chop down all those trees. Where do I start? Do you know what I mean? Or I wouldn't actually encourage chopping down trees, unless you're going to be using it for wood. But anyway, another subject for another day. But it's that sort of thing. It's first things first. Okay, is getting out of the head and into the body and just doing. and start getting onto those needs and wants. So when you get your tea meditation in the morning, it's very easy for you to say, I need to do this to get to the here. Now, if your needs, if the needs are too much, and that's exactly what the situation seems to be like, what you need to do is, compress it down, give it back to your subconscious, your inner being, one of your guides, if you like, and say, give me a list that I can do today. And that is really important. Don't forget about everything that I've got to do. Just give me something that I got to do today, and you knock them down. Every single day, you knock down at least 4 of them. And before you know it, within a week, you would have knocked down, in theory, sort of like 28 things. And all of a sudden things are going to be going along a lot quicker, therefore you don't have to overthink it, and all of a sudden, therefore, the defragmentation which you do in the night time doesn't have to happen. So you can then allow yourself to fall asleep, and then you can sort of like allow everything else to be put in its place, as it were. So what we need to do is we're just going to go into there and have a look at your solar plexus here. Well, I don't want to get personal and everything like that, but it seems like there's a situation that's tied a little bit to your heart that you don't want to do it because it may upset someone or something like that. And I think you should do it. And that's that whole sort of thing of, when your kids are banging their heads against the wall, don't step in between them and the wall. Just say to them, don't keep hitting your head against the wall because it'll eventually hurt you. And kids, like we have all been, will push it until they kind of go, do you know what, banging my head against the wall is really starting to hurt my head. And then once we understand that, then we can, then they learn something. And, sometimes you need to be that person in order for it to happen. So, but there's a lot of technical stuff that goes along with it as well, I think, to do with possible legal issues or, organisation legal issues. I don't, stuff like that. And so obviously they need to be sorted out at the same time. I just think chopping things down one by one, I think, is going to help you a lot more. But I just need to finish off that thing on the solar plexus. So what we're doing is we're in the solar plexus here. We've got some petals here that are not functioning as fully as they should be. And I think that's sort of like, it's like the stomach is the second brain. In fact, it's probably the first brain. And I just need to sort of, there you go. And there's that last one there. Cool. So that'll help you give that determination to do things in the day so it's done. So then you will feel fulfilled by the end of the day, and it'll be a lot easier for you to sleep. The energy has not really been conducive to that, I would say. Because of the peaceness. It's like, when you go out in the country, say like if you live in the city and you go out to the countryside and there's nothing but peace, there's no noise, you can hear yourself and your thoughts so much more. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden there's a whole new, whole new thing to explore within your own personal life, So yeah, it's the calmness of the energy doesn't necessarily mean that, the peaceness of the energy there. It's encouraging us to be peaceful, and it's sometimes very difficult to be that in this human world, So, Margaret, what time do you want to get up? Just to finish this off, what we're going to do is we're going to try and reprogram your sleep pattern. So what time would you like to get up in the morning? Basically, just tell me what time you'd like to get up, and then we'll program it in and put it in. So I felt a relief there, Tom. Good, excellent. Don't worry, man. Don't worry, Margaret. It's gonna be a bit. It'll always be all right. It will always be all right. You just got to one by one knock them down, and you'll do absolutely fine. Um, what? Just tell me what time you want to be up in the morning, and we go from there. Chrissy says I've had I've had the opposite. Getting only 4 or 5 hours of sleep and not being tired the next day. Sometimes I seem to feel vibrating and frenetic energy, but it's a good kind of thing. This is it. We will all feel that energy differently. The energy will be the same. It's like each one of us will appreciate a hot day in a different way. Some people will go out into the sunshine where it's really hot and just kind of go, oh, it's just too hot, I don't want to be out in the sun. Other people will be going to go, oh yeah, lovely bit of sunshine, that sort of thing. So I can totally understand it being frenetic and getting on, definitely. Like living in anticipation for something, creating something. 9 a.m. is good for you, is it? Okay, so let's start from the 9 a.m. So let's just get your sleep pattern there. 1, 2. The thing is, Margaret, if you get up at 9, I would suggest you get up at 8. If I'd be honest with you. The problem being there's only so much. I think 8 hours, 8.5 hours is your perfect time. There's a very long sleep, actually. The majority of people are not necessarily 8.5 hours. It goes anything between 6 and 9 at a push. But you're about sort of at 8.5 hours. And if we were taking 8.5 hours, you won't be going to bed till 12:30, 1 o'clock. And if that's good for you, then absolutely brilliant. Is that okay? Is that okay for you? We're going to set it. Okay, so we're going to set it at 8 because it is actually better to fall asleep before midnight. Rarely, a lot of us don't. I am one of them. But it has to do with the magnetic field of the earth and stuff like that. So let's just plug that into. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And we just set that in motion. So when your tiredness comes, just go for it. Just allow yourself to go to sleep. Okay. The clicking in the wrist. That's interesting. Yeah, clicking. Well, my hands always click. When I'm working, it clicks. When I'm not working, it doesn't click. I can't. As much as I try and make it click, I can't make it click. So let's get on the freezer, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go on the freezer. Is it your? Let's have a look. Is it your left ankle? Is that what it is? Is it your left or right ankle? Freezer, you still there, my love? Yeah. Is it your left ankle? Is that what it's all about? And it's a definite pain in the ankle, rather than, is it a bloating of the ankle? I don't think it's that personally. Might well be, but I don't think it is. It's the right. Okay. So you are reflecting rather than receiving, as it were. Okay, so we got the right ankle there. Okay. So it's exterior of how, is it the exterior of, is it the exterior of how things, the exterior of the ankle, of how it balances the foot? Is that what it is? And does it get pulled? Do you get pains in your foot as well on the side? Bone very sore, edema. Okay, so it is that dull ache. So it's not a case of sort of like swelling ankles and stuff like that. It's more sort of problem with the bone and stuff like that. And is it how the so edema? I don't know what that means. I've never opened up a medical book. I'm not a doctor, okay, and I would never tell you to take it or stop taking anything. It's not my job. But let's just have a look at your right ankle. So here we go, Ken. So we're into the right ankle, which is down there. There it is there. And this is so let me just I'll tell you what. I don't have a picture of the ankle, but I do have a picture of a knee. And that's the sort of thing I see when I'm looking at it. So I see points of energy within the mechanics of. So that's pretty much how I see the body all the time when I'm dealing with people. And you can see those points that are illuminated where the issue seems to be. And as I said, it can be physical, it can be emotional, it could be, what have you. But, and so I sort of like, let me just see if I can get my, I'm just, where is it? There it is. Let me just see if I can get, oh, blimey, look at that, look what that did. Got me doubled up there. Okay, so basically I'm going in there and I'm putting my fingers in. That's what I'm doing, right? And as I put my fingers into your ankle, yeah, that's when you can see the accumulation or the blockage that is going on. And then there you go. There's one. And what you're trying to do is find where you can make a discharge of electricity or energy which makes the situation loosen up, so like a traffic jam. When you loosen it up and then everything starts flowing, and then that's it. Then the traffic jam gets broken, and that's what happens on the energy front. So as we work down through your let me bring back up. Let me bring that back up. Sorry, because it's distracting me. So, if we're looking into that, let me have a look at edema. See what's going on with there. Does edema create? Does edema create issues with tendon attachment to the bones? Does the bones become a little bit, that film it's got covering it, like bones, like cartilage in a way? Does it affect that sort of thing? You do get swollen ankles as well, right? Okay. Is swelling, I think. Okay, so the edema is swelling. Okay, so it's. I have a niggling, itchy pain under my left shoulder. Okay, we'll be on to you in a minute, Nikota. Is that swelling to do with the tendons, basically? I'll get there in a minute. And how the tendons attach, or how they pull upon your bones, as it were. Do you know what I mean? So that causes where the body's constantly trying to repair itself. Therefore, that's where you get retention of water and so forth. Detachment of ligament. Is that what it is, Kayan? Because that's the sort of impression I'm getting, where the ligaments are not really, and that's causing muscular problems as well for you. And there's small muscles as well. And I was wondering, do you get it in that part of your foot as well? So coming down off your ankle, does it go down into your foot, down that, like that, on that side there? So let's have a look at that. Just above the ankle, in the leg, it hurts, and the swelling since 2006. No idea, difficult walking. Okay. Yeah, as I said, it seems to be like the way in which it's difficult to position your foot because the tendons are not working as properly as they should be. You know, footballers, they have 3 tendons that come down from the ankle that touch onto the foot like that. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really see myself. You know, when it attaches onto the foot like that, the 3 tendons as they come down. And a lot of footballers break those tendons, but then that allows them to actually put their feet in a particular way because they're no longer restricted with that tendon, and they can do amazing things with the ball because of that. It's like Messi. The reason he can, you know, I don't know if you know about soccer or football. You know, there's a famous player called Messi, and the way he can dribble through things is because he's got a problem with his back. You know, so, you know, it's, let me just have a look at that. It's the way the placement is. So obviously this is coming, so this is where you stick your finger into the situation, right? Or you stick your energy into the situation. Okay, ankles are a little bit like they're associated with in my world with personal what do you call it? Personal value, I guess. How you see yourself, how you value yourself in the world, and it feels like here that you know you have something that the world is not valuing, and it's a bit annoying. Is that you know, and it's on the right one. It's almost as if like the world's not playing. The human world is not playing ball or not listening to you when it should be. Is that what I'm getting out of it? So I'm going to be on to you, Nikita, very shortly. Don't worry. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to stop the body from constantly trying to repair something and not giving it the time to repair itself. Okay, so we need to reattach. So then you can go down to individual strands of attachment of the, and it's almost as if like the tendon, you know, the tendon attaches like that, and it's almost as if like the tendon is splitting into thicker strands, as it were, you know, and it doesn't, so it's getting all knotted, as it were. Let's just have a look on that. But it's very small knotting, you know, feeling unappreciated. Right ankle may mean work situation. Okay. So let's just, okay, so we unfurl the tendon. So there you go. Right, now it's starting to play on all aspects of the ankle now. And here we go. There, that's that there. There is a circulatory sort of issue going on as well with that. And maybe because the lack of movement, it's difficult, you know, to get the circulation and stuff like that, you know. And it is also about having your footing in the world and stuff like that. I wouldn't. Do you know what? Do you know what, Frisia? I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't give the outside world time of day if I was you. In a way that I wouldn't allow it to sort of like decide for you. I think you should just go ahead and do what you got to do, basically. And, those who have ears and all of that, and I think it'll be fine. But let's just finish off with that. There you go. There you go. And there you go. There is a thing going, there is something on the kidney front as well. I don't want to go into too much here, but that's on the left-hand kidney. Let me just have a look at that. So I've got your kidney sitting there in front of me now, and there is just an issue with that, and it could well be that. Need to get a shot of that because you need that just out of the body more than anything else. There you go. So we all have like a recycling bin, which is about here. So, you can just take stuff and chuck it away and get it recycled. Okay. There is a thing going on with the lower part of the back. There's a lot of joint stuff. A lot of red fruit if you can. That'll help you out. Red fruit. No red wine. Be careful of sunflower oil and that sort of thing. I'll go more onto, greasier oils like olive oil and stuff like that. That'll probably help you out a lot more as well. And I think it's just a case of sort of like kind of, put your foot forward because you want to enjoy it. You want to enjoy doing it rather than kind of going, will the world accept that? Don't care. Just do it because it's good and you really you love it or you enjoy it, more than anything else, And there's another thing on the leg there as well that just needs dealing with there. Okay, that's cool. Okay, we're going to shut up shop as it were, like that. There you go. Thank you. Pleasure. Okay. Next one was Nikota, left shoulder. You said, is that right? Am I getting that right? Niggly itching. I sort of agree with Ken. I've got plantar fist. That's obviously Latin. Oh yeah, that's the thing under there. That's a calcification between the two bones that becomes like a shard, and when you walk on it, it's it can cause enormous amounts of pain and stuff like that. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Amazing, it has so much meaning. Yeah, it's like when in Chinese medicine, if you look in the ear, you can see everything. And it's like that. Once you start looking into things, it's almost completely healed now after 2 days of pain. This is really good. I've come out of nowhere and lasted a few days, slowly getting worse. Okay. I had a sore toe. So you had a sore toe. Yeah. Big toe, was it? That's to do with balance, heavily to do with balance. And whereabouts on the toe, that's also important. And you've had the heel thing, haven't you? Coral. It's like walking on glass. Yeah, I totally get that. Let me just have a look at Nikota, and we'll come on to you, Coral, afterwards. So let's have a look at your. Okay, so let me get the original message which you put up. Where's it gone? Sorry, I have a niggly itching pain under the left shoulder blade. Not sure what it's connected to. I do know I'm going through a major process. Can you confirm for me, please? In gratitude. I'm good. I'm good on my freezer. Energies are good. That's the thing. energy, if you thing is, I've got a real issue with a lot of people speaking about energy because they make it very, very complicated, and it doesn't have to be a lot complicated. And people make it complicated so it gives them value, you know what I mean? But it's actually really incredibly logical energy. So thank energy more than anything else. Let's just it was the whole middle toe on the left foot. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's just get on to Nikota. Okay, so left shoulder. It's going down into the back. If you just relax, let's just have a look at that. Okay, you say you're going through a whole process and stuff like that. The moment I stick my finger into it, what I get instantly is are you having difficulty letting go, Nikota? Is that what it is? Is it difficult to let go of something? And it feels like what you might be difficult to let go of is the way in which you've been doing things, and it's how because it's the interaction of life that needs to change as well. We can't just go through the process mentally or consciously. It has to actually then come out in a physical sense within life. And it's like there's certain habits or habitudes that need to be assessed. And is that right? There is also that whole sort of there's a lot of I need to have another look at you. I'm going to look at your aura as well. There is a lot of you seem to be doing a lot more mental processing than you have to. I think you're making it a little bit more complicated than it has to be, maybe. And it's we're all going through it, and sometimes we try too hard. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. In the whole sort of process of going from one thing to another, it just seems like there's the way in which you engage in life physically needs to change, and there's some things that you need to just let go of and stop doing, and they need to. So that's going to leave the space in order for you to then start doing things that you never did before, which will then give the permission of that transition or that process to actually then come to complete and utter fruition. That's what it feels like. And it feels like it's coming actually from the neck. So you have a nerve that's going down round your shoulder blade, round the left-hand side of your shoulder blade. Yeah, so if you imagine that's my back and then my shoulder blades, it comes down the back like that and goes like that. And if we just go into that, and then the moment I straighten that out, it comes back. So I go up to the initial point, which is the neck, and how you're carrying the world upon your shoulders, basically. So let's just go into that left part of where that nerve comes out. There it is there. We've got a finger on the nerve, so we can unfurl it all the way through. And there it comes to the end, and there you go. That should be a lot easier for you going forward, but you do need to make some changes within your life at some point, and you've got to stop mentalizing everything. At some points, it's got to be integrated within the body before it goes to the mind. The tea meditation, I can't express how important that is every single day. Changes your life phenomenally, you know, because it will stop you from overthinking things and just trying too hard. And it's not that it's none of it's with bad intention. It's all with good intention, but it's like maybe it's sort of slightly overcomplicating thing that's sort of stopping you from, you know, allowing yourself to live fully within the whole sort of thing as well. So, you know, yeah. So, pleasure. So, the thing I'm getting in the process is that you've got to go beyond belief. I don't know what you're trying to process, obviously, physically. All I know is that you've got to go beyond believing, if that makes sense to you. Okay? There you go. Let me just sort of like pull that down as well, so you're not overthinking things, and it's much easier for you to just allow it to happen and just do. Okay, so there you go. That's that there. Lovely, excellent. And then just closing that off there like that. Thanking you. Okay, Coral, how you doing? Under your foot. That's what it was. Whatever Latin term it was. I can't remember. I don't know any of the terms for any of these things. That's it. So the plantar fasciitis. I can't even pronounce the bloody word. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So on the right foot. Okay. Okay. When I was writing the event and Waves of Reality with Tanya, one of the things that came out, a phrase that came out, that sometimes it's you win more when you lose, because you learn a lot and stuff like that. But it's not just that as well. It's what I'm getting here when I put my, and it is down to a bit of acidity within your blood. Let's just have a look at, we'll have to look at the liver and stuff like that as well. But some battles are not worth winning. They're more distraction than actual, I don't think you need to be involved in it. So what it seems to be here is it's, I think your body's asking, or that's part of your body here is sort of saying, you need to dig your heels in, yeah, in accordance to, and when we dig our heel in, when we do that, it's to stop and to pivot and to move and to go in a different direction and stuff like that. Yeah, facilitatus. Oh, Chrissy, man, that's so nice of you, man. Thanking you very much. Wow. Oh, Dan, you're making me all embarrassed. Oh, man, thanking you very much. Thanking you. Thanking you. Wow, that's really quite mad. Facilitatus. Old saying, lose a battle to win the war. That's okay. That's possibly what it sounds like. Facilities. Yeah, whatever it is, it's too much cartilage in the bottom section, and it seems like there where it's like you're that. Is that close to the ballpark for you, Cole? Is that thingy? Oh, thank you, Chrissy. You know, his health is just sounds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just really crap at it. I know YouTube scalp you a bit more than just scalp me for a bit. I'll tell you what, but it's anyway. I was thanking you very much, but let's just break up. So what we got to do is we find that pinch point, and therefore we see where the calcification of that build up between the two bones in the calcification that goes between the two. It's like a knife or a sliver, and what it's like a little bit like how ultrasound you'd use for breaking up kidney stones and so forth. So that's what we got to do here. So we're just there and there, and it's a discharge there. There we go. And there's another one there. I've got to say, hang on a second, let me just finish off that. There's that one there. Okay, that's that all done. Now it's then we can get shot of it. Okay, do you drink enough water, Coral? What I meant by the digging your heels in, are you orientating your life in connection with other people and sharing your joy with other people? But are you, at least are you having a piece of cake for life as well? That's what I'm trying to sort of say, really. Do you drink on a regular basis, water on a regular basis as well? That's the other thing I would like to know as well. And it's sorta. Is that means? Hang on a second. Well, the messages are all getting a bit. So, is that a no to do you not drink enough water? This is where Zoom would be so much more fun. Cody, how you doing, man? Cody's obviously come to say hello. He wants to look at something. I don't know what is it. I don't know if you can see him. Let me just see if I can orientate you to. He's come to say hello. Say hello, Cody. Oh, yeah. I can't, mate. Not at the moment. I will in a minute. Okay. Okay. Take it easy. Yeah. Sorry. Do you just started more water? Okay. So that's the first thing. When that's going to help you with the. Do you have? I don't think you've got a problem with acidity within your body. I just think it's a little bit elevated. When we look at, if I'm looking at so I can do a blood test on you. So I'll do a blood test like that, and that seems to be okay. But it seems to be a bit acidic, and let's just see how never any problems with your gallbladder and stuff like that. The salter was the digging my heels in. What you're sort of digging your heels in. Yeah, there may be just like something that you got there's a bee in your bonnet about something that it's wasting your time, and it's stopping you from enjoying life. That's what I'm trying to sort of say. I don't think it's. I think it's very easily fixed just by reorientation, but certainly adding water is going to help you out. And how's your digestive system going at the moment? Do you get any sort of reflux or anything like that? Let's just clear out that liver a little bit and make that sort of like. That will bring the acidity back into line as well within the situation. So, and it's just getting rid of that. The only thing is like that gallbladder gone. Ah, there you go. That's what it is then. Okay. That's what it is. That's why that's kind of like, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and therefore, I need to a liver clean out would be. I think you should do it at least twice a year. Hot water with lemon juice squeezed in it when you're, first thing in the morning or last thing at night. But make sure it's 2.5 hours after you've eaten something, so you've got to have an empty stomach and so forth. But that definitely does need sort of like, that's going to help you a lot actually. I can understand that now. Okay, so what we're going to do is it's a bit like phantom member, when people have limbs chopped off, they can still feel that limb. And what we're going to do is we're going to trick your body for a bit just to help you out, to make it think it's still got the gallbladder. So, and it will help the digestive system, which will then stop the acidity a little bit within your body. No, it's good. What's good? Your blood. Was it your blood that's good? Your acidity in your blood and stuff like that. It's all good. Is that right? Your blood's good. It's just like communicating through a telex, isn't it? Like it's like as I say, like if you imagine, like there is the high and the low of something, and your acidity is there. It's not out of the roof. It's not like a bad thing, but it's maybe just a little bit elevated. So let's just finish that off there, like that. So it should be a lot easier for you to deal with. Thanking you very much. Thanking you. I don't have reflux. Oh, right. Okay. Good. I'm glad you don't. That's a good sign, though. And I think it can get sorted, pretty quickly. Okay. We'll come on to your middle toe, Lynn, a little bit later on. I just want to have a quick look at Lindsay Fry. That's right. Have a pain in my right shoulder and a pain in the lower back often. Okay, so if you just relax, just have a look at that. Okay, lower back. Is it also slightly to the right, the lower back? Or to the left? Excuse me. Pleasure, Coral. I hope it's all going well for you. I hope family's good and you're living it full on. I know you are. I trust you are. Anyway. Hi, Tina. How you doing? Lindsay, are you still there? Sorry. If you're not, then I'll move on to the toes of Lynn. Lindsay, yes, the right. Yeah, slightly to the right, and the lower part of the back to the right. Is the lower part of the back? That's what I was talking about. Is it slightly to the right? Question on water. What are your thoughts on moon or sun water? Can that energy be imbued into water for our benefit? Yes. As simple as that, Chrissy. Most certainly. You leave water in the sunshine for a day, you put it in the fridge, Yeah, definitely. Emoto, do you know Dr. Emoto? You must know all about that, about how you can change the frequency of the things. Yes, right. Sold. That is so good to hear, Cole. I'm so chuffed. That's what that is. That's what that is. And it's like, it wasn't worth winning. Just walk away. I'm so chuffed for you. Yeah, water. Sorry about that. Bit of a distraction. So, yes, right-hand side. Okay. So, this now comes to... what star sign are you? If that's all right. What star sign are you, Lindsay? Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you. I don't necessarily need the star sign for this, but um, right hand at the lower part of your back, you seem to be doing a lot of things for a lot of people and never anything for you. So you seem to be basically someone else kind of go, oh, do you know what? I'd like to go to the cinema, and you kind of go, oh, right, hang on a second, let me just sort out the tickets for you. Yeah, I'll drop you off. You know, you know. Um, is that I'll get on to you, 13 rebel spirit. Capricorn. Ooh, Capricorn. I know what you mean. Is do you seem to be running around for everything, trying to do too much in the day? First things first. That's the lower part of the back, and it seems to be associated with how you pivot your activities into pleasure. And it seems to be, if I might be getting this wrong, but I don't think so. But I think you're doing a lot of things for other people, but never have the time for you. Do you get headaches as well? There's something going on in the neck. Do you get headaches that, sort of come up like that at the back of the head? So let's just see what's going on with that. What do you? Yeah. I do a lot for other people. Yeah, you got to be careful of that, Capricorn. Lindsay. There's only so much. Whenever you bake a cake, always keep a piece for yourself, because other people could tell you that cake tastes brilliant, but it tastes like rubbish. And unless you save a piece for that cake and you eat it and you kind of go, oh yeah, no, that needs a nut more sugar, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So then So first things first, stop trying to do everything. And I know this is it. Capricorns can get real sort of, I'm going to do this, therefore I'm going to. Yeah, my neck bothers me a lot as well. Right, okay, so so let's just hang on. Right, let's just work on the back, because what you're gradually creating a sciatica situation for you. Coral, man, thanking you ever so much. I'm so glad you sold. I really am so chuffed. Thanking you so much, my love. Thanking you very much. Really do appreciate it. Absolutely pleasure. Right. Yes. Lindsay, let's get onto your lower part of your back. Okay, so it is the transition between what makes you feel good and what you actually do in the end of the day. So what makes you feel good and makes you feel grounded and stuff like that in your life, sort of kind of comfortable within your life, kind of, it's there, it's there, but for some reason you never get around to it. And that's got to change. I gave Scorpio that message the other day. Look, I can thank people. Look, I can do that. So I'm discovering how YouTube works. I bet you are happy. Yeah. So, yeah, right hand side. Getting back to that. Okay, don't let me get too distracted. Okay, the advice I gave Scorpio the other day was really to do with that whole idea of, when you are okay, everybody else can be okay. That's how everything in the universe works. And there's other things I want to talk about, which is to do with Coral's heel planter. We'll get back to that in a minute, heel planter. But, it's not a case of when everybody else is okay, I'm okay. That's what's got to change, that attitude there. You're shouldering a lot, and it is the other pivot point, which is where your neck is is where it's going from the feeling to the activation. So it's from the grounding to the feeling, from the feeling to the activation. And those points there, both that point up there in your neck and the one down your lower part of your back, are the things causing the problems. And which is causing a problem, I think, in this section here of your shoulder. So it's difficult for you to lift yourself out of a rut. If I'm, you can't pour from an empty cup like that, Chrissy. Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. So let's just get in there and so what we're going to do is we're going to clear up the spasms, because that's what it is within your muscles. That's what it's creating in the lower part of your back. This is also where your spine, what they call your vertebrates, are a bit collapsing upon themselves. So let's just clear that out there. There you go. Okay, there we go. Just clear that out there. There we go. That's it. I'm just going to have to strip off your sciatica nerve and put it all back again, because that's not going to... There's also issues where you're taking on too much. You're holding a lot of emotions within you, not saying things and stuff like that. But anyway, that's for another day. Let's just get onto that neck and shoulder. There it is. There. Was that? Is it in that? Is it in that section there, Lindsay? You know, as well. Sort of. You know. Let's just. Okay, that's that there. Right, now let's clear those, because at the same time you've got the same nerves that come up and they go round the face like that and go round like that, and they all come from the same point and they go down the arm, and there's a nerve that comes around the front and goes round the back as well, and it all comes out the same sort of section there, and it's just that section there that needs to be... There you go. Okay, so let's just sort of close that off. There you go, Lindsay. I hope that sorts everything out for you. Thanking you. Yes, I was going to say that it's the same thing I was doing on corals. I'm going to try it again. Fasciitis. I can't even say it. I'm hopeless. I give up. It's okay. I don't care. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's the thing. You know, understanding is key. It's like the sun was doing to Three Eye Atlas. It sends out a vibration that then just makes it sort of gradually sort of... You know. So, you know. Yes. Lewis Romeo... NT. Hello, Tom. Could you help with my Charlie horse cramps in my legs? I've also had a lot of issues with... Wow, there's suddenly a lot of messages that came in. There's issues with styes. Okay. Hi, Susan. Lovely to see you. Okay. So just to sort of say that I think that's what's happening to Three Eye Atlas, and it doesn't make it explode, Three Eye Atlas, but it is gradually, I think, pulling apart, and we'll only really sort of see it after December, that we'll actually start really noticing. Okay, it's breaking into more sort of fragments, but it's very, very slow disparity between it all. Okay, Lynn, are you still there? Toe, middle toe, was it left foot? Let's have a quick look at that, shall we? Go back to that. I'm just going back up to that. Amazing. On your left foot, your sore toe. Okay, so here we go. Let's bring up Lynn. Go down into the left foot. We blow it up so that we can see it nice and big, so it's easier to work with. Tattoo infection. Yes, I will get onto that as well. Thank you very much, Frasier. Lynn, was it a skin issue or was it actually the toe? Because I need to have a look at your what's that acid? Because it feels a little bit like gout, if you know what I mean. It feels a little bit like that. That's why I'm sort of like, it may have got red and inflamed. And that's the sort of sensation I get from it. I will get to you 313 Rebel Spirit. Thank you. I will get to there. And if I do miss out, do put another comment in. I'll come back to it. It's all right. It's not a problem. You know. And what's the acidic? Uric acid. There you go. Uric acid. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So on the right foot, middle toe. Okay, so big toe is all about balance. Little toe is all about the nuances. The middle toe is all about direction. And it's like that. It's like the toe that literally grips to push you forward. Is that alcohol related? I don't drink much. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Everyone says it's, it doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol related, but I'm here. Yes. Okay. So it was the toe, painful and red for no reason. Yeah, I think it's that. And I think it's just the uric acid. So we got to have a look at, in that case, that's the outcome. Let's go follow it right back to your liver. Let's see what's going on with that. So same question for you as I did have for Coral. What about liver and gallbladder and all of that? Is that all working okay and everything like that? I do think you drink enough water. In profound gratitude, I've come over so sleepy. It's good. You will do, because I'm playing with your energy. When I'm healing, it never tires me out. I'm never tired after healing, because it's not my energy that I'm working on. But the people who come and see me are knackered, are completely clacked afterwards. You know what I mean? And it makes them feel incredibly tired. And the reason for that is because you're releasing a lot of things as well, and that's what it's all about. That's really good. I'm really, really chuffed for you. All good, I think. What, your liver and your gallbladder, right? Okay. Yeah. I don't see a problem with it, but it does seem intense. Is that the right word? Intense on the liver. I'm now looking at your gut, as it were, to see if that's there. Okay. Are you taking supplements, Lynn? Do you take supplements? Good evening, Dragon Bone Stories. How you doing? Can you tell me what's going on with me? It's a big question, Dragon. We'll have a look at it in a minute. I've got couple of other people just before you, but we'll have a look at that quickly. Do you take supplements, Lynn? That's what I need to know. Ascending Universal Butterfly. Hello, new subscriber. How you doing? Ascending Universal Butterfly. Do you have a name? Because that's going to be. I'll end up calling you AUB, which I don't mind. No, not really. Electrolytes and Celtic salt. Stem cell activation patches too. It's not that you got a problem with your liver, but I think it's overstretching it a little bit. I'm a really big, like, naturopaths. I'm much more of eating yourself well rather than supplements. I'm much more that sort of way inclined. It just feels a bit salty when I'm looking at your liver. It feels like there's maybe you need to, maybe you need to ease off on it occasionally and stuff like that. Maybe it's just taking on too much. Okay. So I would maybe it's either, have a break, allow your body to find its balance again. Maybe it's reducing the dosage, play with it a little bit, you know what I mean? Because these are not obviously medications and so forth. What should I be eating more of? So for in the electrolytes, it is pretty much the salt side of it, and I think it's a case of varying as well. Sort of like maybe for sort of like sort of with cheeses and so forth, of getting that salt. Maybe it's getting a different type of salt as well. It could be eating algae rather than taking on the salt, as it were, directly, as it were, taking it through sort of like it's like a okay, so it's a little bit like the pumpkin seeds, as I was talking about, for the prostate. It's the combination of things together that make it active, and maybe it's that sort of thing that's doing a bit of sushi. That's what it means. Maybe a bit more sort of sushi and so forth. AUB is perfect. Okay, cool. Calling you AUB. So yeah, it's there's I think that could be a very good way of activating it. Have looked back since switching to anti-inflammatory diet with little to no highly processed food. Yeah, processed foods are, woof. What I mean? Get shot at them. I wouldn't get him in there. I love cheese and olives. That might slow my roll. Slow your roll. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, Oh, is that slow your roll? As in what's it called? Sushi. Yeah. Cheese and olives. That's it. Brilliant. Yeah, great. Love it. Real Mediterranean thing. Why not? Totally. Okay. Let me just sort of like finish that off. But basically, we've just given your liver a bit of a streamline, so then it's a little bit easier for it to process it all and everything like that, rather than being a little bit like that. So yeah, olive oils. Olives are great. Even olives with anchovies or something like that. Don't go overboard, but Joe, how you doing? Welcome, Joe. Lovely to see you. Yes. Who was next online? It was, Frasier reminded me earlier on, Tattoo. And it was, what was, something Rebel. It was something Rebel. Where was it? Rebel. Let me have a look at your message. Dragon Bones, I'll be coming on to you in a minute. And then there was Lewis as well, with your horse cramps. Going to be getting on to you in a second. There you go. I've got it now. I've got the message. Just got a tattoo 5 days ago and have some infection sitting in, and you come up on my feed. Can you help me? Yes, I can. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Are you there? Are you still there? By the way, are you 13 Rebel Spirit? Are you still there, my friend? Just make. You'll be able to see it afterwards, but I might have questions with it. Pleasure, Lynn. Absolute pleasure. I want to know where the tattoo is, or where that sort of thing. Rebel, if that's possible. That's all right, Lewis. Absolute pleasures. We'll be on to that in a mo. Just want to see with 13 Rebel Spirit. Thanking you for all the likes as well. Absolutely pleasurable. Ursula. Hi, first time here. Love to hear what you can sense about me. Thanks. Okay. I'll do. A, B, and you are gonna. So we'll have a general feel about that afterwards. 13 Rebel. Where's it gone? 13 Rebel Master Spirit, wasn't it? 13 Rebel Spirit. Where are you, 13 Rebel Spirit? Are you here? I know it's there somewhere. Okay, let's have a look and see what we can see. Okay, so what we're doing here is, if you take the skin, it's like, I want to say sandwich, but it's got layers in it, you know what I mean? So you got the dermatology sort of section and stuff like that. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, AUB. Yeah. Come on, what you doing? What you waiting around for? Stop messing around. Subscribe. You know you want to. So let's just have a look at the skin. So, because I can't actually, I'm waiting for you to find out where exactly it is and what exactly, because then that will give me a lot more information. But let's just see. There it is. There. Seem to have gone a bit deep. Their needle seems to be going. Have you got very soft skin, 13 Rebel? Do you have a very are you thin-skinned or thick-skinned? Because it seems to be really deep, the thing. So, and there we can see there is a slight infection in there. So let's just get a shot of that. So there it is there. Classic, typical infection sort of thing, And there it is there. So you're zapping it with a vibration, so the infection can no longer withstand and resonate in it. If you cut off the oxygen in the air, then obviously we would have problems living. And that's what we're doing to the infection there, energetically. And then just need to clear off the rest. And there you go. 13 Rebel Spirit. I hope you do yeah. You know, thanks for being here and for your patience. It is appreciated. Certainly is. Patience is a virtue. Ursula, I will be on to you in a minute. Let me get on to Lewis. Where's Lewis? I know you're there, Lewis. I'm just looking for your question. What was it about? It came after 13. There it is here. Could you help me with my Charlie horse cramps in my legs? I've had a lot of issues with styes. Okay, so we're looking at styes and horse cramps. Now, I've never heard of the term horse cramps. So, is it in the legs, in the upper legs? Is that what it is? The crack in your wrist sounds like a zap of electricity. That's exactly what it is. It's a discharge of energy. I can't do it. I can't do it if I'm not working on something. It's the weirdest thing in the world. You know, it's not actually. It's straightforward for me, but you know, and it's just always been cracking for ages. You know, sometimes both sides can crack and everything like that. But at the moment, because I'm just going to be going on to Lewis. So, Lewis, yes, horse cramps. Are we talking about in like an impatient leg sort of thing? Is that what it means, or is it like something in the neck as well with you as well, calves and upper legs? Yeah, that's the main thing I'm getting. It's like at night time, do you get like that movement, that impatientness? Is that what that is? Is that what that means? Impatientness. So let's have a look at that. Severe cramping. Okay. Okay. Is circulation, do you have circulation issues within your legs? Do you have circulation issues within your legs? Something as well within the hip, like the cural nerve as well, that plays there. There's a lot of things going on here. And it does seem to sort of stem as well from the lower part of the back as well. Yeah, we call them in Canada. Oh, right. So, Pinkster. Oh, hello, lovely. Yeah, I saw you earlier on. Right, so you're from Canada. So, yeah, we call them call them Charlie horse. Really? Okay. Never heard of that phrase before. It's interesting. That poor horse called Charlie. Magnesium and calcium. Suggestion from Ken. Okay. Is there a circulation thing going on, Lewis? Also, at the same time, yeah, with the circulation thing, I need to know about that. First time, welcome, Pinster. Always lovely to see people here, you know what I mean? And it's great you joining in as well. Yes, circulation issues. Do you have, let me just have a check on your diet. Do you have diabetes? You do have it in the family, but do you have it? That's the question. I want to make sure that I'm not giving you the wrong advice, basically. So, magnesium and calcium, yeah. So everyone seems to. So obviously, magnesium and calcium is definitely a good way to go for you, Lewis. Just want to make sure you don't have diabetes. Okay, let's clear off this. Because there's one other things I want to talk, sort of have a look into, and it's to do with the sugar levels in your lower muscles and it happens more about nighttime more than anything else, as far as I can tell. Is that right? And it's evacuating that sugar before you go to bed, because once you go horizontal, once you lay down horizontal, the body changes completely how it functions. Really does change completely how it functions. No, not that I know of yet. Okay, yeah, I don't think you do have it, but I do think it's probably, is it in the family? I do think it's in the family as well. Well, it's great that you don't have it, not know it as yet. I don't think you have. I don't think it's there at yeah. So walking bare feet in grass really helps out. I know during the winter it's a little bit difficult and so forth, but that really helps out with your circulation problems. The other thing as well is don't wear Crocs and don't wear Wellington boots and that sort of thing. Really not a good thing. That cuts off, it creates a Faraday cage, and it's really bad for your circulation and so forth. Also, more at night. Okay, so what I want you to be doing, well, you can do, this is almonds. They might have magnesium and calcium in almonds. I don't know. I'm not going to check on the internet, but Ascended AUB, thanking you very much. Yes. A few almonds. So you have your dinner and stuff like that, and then a couple of hours, half an hour, 45 minutes before you go to bed, just to eat some almonds. 5 would be enough. And what it'd do is it helped to evacuate as well the sugar build up within your muscles, within your legs. So you're cramping less, because cramping sometimes it's like the muscles squeezing to get out the toxin and everything like that. I love barefoot shoes now. Love it. Yes, Julie, you're back. I haven't even looked at that. Sorry. Do apologise. You've got to pipe up, love. Don't worry about it. So let's just clear all of that sort of section there. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to reset your circulation ish, so it starts pumping your legs and stuff like that, as well. And there is one other thing as well which I need to have a look at. So let's just chuck that circulation away, and we're going to have to build another one. There you go. There you go. Lovely. And then build that there. Here we go. That's really cool. And then I just need to do something on the neck as well. For you, Lewis. There it is there. There, good job. Lovely. Okay. One other thing I want to just check as well. Do you drink enough water on a regular basis? I don't worry about you, Judy. It's all right. No point worrying, but I would like to have a look at your back anyway. Macadamia contains the good oils. Also, calcium and magnesium. Okay. Okay. So, more back issues happen around mid-morning for people because of low blood sugars. The blood sugars really, really play an important part of the role of in a day, in a rhythm of the day, and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, there you go, Lewis. Thank you very much. Who was after Lewis? There was one after. Oh yeah, I was going to be looking at uh, UAB, no, AUB, and also there was who was it? There's Dragon, Dragon. There you are, Dragon. Sure. Can you tell me what's going on with me? Okay, so let's have a. You could help me out with my neck pain too. That would be awesome. Okay, we'll have a look at that white feather. Okay, so let's have a look at Dragon. I need to drink more water. This is from Lewis. I feel the changes. Thank you so much. Pleasure. Do regular daily basis, every hour, 2 or 3 gulps. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not massive amounts, but little amounts, but all the time. Um, you know, Here. Thank you for being here. There you go. That laugh, my laugh, it's not as bad as Jimmy Carr's laugh, but yeah. Um, and so let's just see what's going on for you, shall we? You're really taking on the energies of this week here. Um, it's like um, it's like the energy is expanding that you can no longer touch the side. So it's feeling a bit floaty and maybe not necessarily having a direction. It's back. What's back? Ursula, what's back? My screen is frozen for an advert. Oh right, okay, right, it's back. Okay, um, you know, is that it's almost like you know what you know, and it's are you Capricorn by any chance? What star sign are you, by the way, Dragon? Um, there's an accumulation that needs to be given a direction. We bought a benchtop water distiller. Amazing difference. Yeah, it is. You've got to drink. Water is the thing. Sort of like. So yes, was that yes, Dragon? As if to sort of like kind of like it's like your energy's like kind of going. It's getting big that you can't actually touch the sides. It's like, and the thing is, the problem with that is it's fantastic, but it's also at the same time it's losing form or shape, as it were, and it's the dynamics or the potency of the energy gets a little bit lost or diluted at the moment, and it may sometimes feel kind of going. There's too many possibilities. Sort of thing, and I think you need to. Oh, you hang on a sec. You yes to being Capricorn. You need to be. You need to. This sort of thing here. It's like you've got a great deal amount of energy that you need to direct into one flow, and I think you know that flow already. And it's like someone else's. You're waiting for someone else to recognize it, but you know it within you, and you don't need anybody's validation from outside world. You just need to follow it. And I think it's like when you start following one thing, then all of a sudden you can lift your head up and actually you can take in another thing, and then you can take in another thing. But at the moment it needs to be needs to be concentrated in a particular direction. And when you do, all of a sudden, it's going to explode for you in a good way, But there is a transition, a job maybe, or something like that as well, or what you're doing in life physically, materially, that sort of thing. Um, you know, um, that needs to happen. I'm not going to go into the personal side because it's obviously on the live. So no, you got cancer. Okay. No, you are a cancer. Right. Okay. These. So cancer. Yes. Right. Well, opposite the Capricorn. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is your shadow side. It certainly is. And the thing is with cancers, they do, and it has been a bit difficult for cancer over actually the last, I think all the Cancerians, I don't know if that's what you call them, Cancerians, they all have this thing where they're doing something and they know what they're doing, and it's almost a surprise that it's working well, and there's got to be something that's wrong. And it's kind of going, and it's created a bit of, for certain of people I know, it's created a bit of lethargicness within life, and that's the heaviness of the earth energy within you. And I think it's like it's giving that direction and pushing all that energy in one way will be really, really good for you. Going in that sort of direction. Yeah. So I think this is where you have a huge potential. You just need to channel it in one direction to start with. That's what it feels like. And you may be putting off doing this thing for some time. And I think, maybe you should just be kind of going, you know what? It could end for everybody tomorrow, so I might as well do it. Just go ahead and do it, Okay. Don't forget to hype the message as well when you can. It helps out as well. What? Hype the message. Are you talking to me here, White Feather? I need to hype the message as well as well when you can. Yeah. You're scared. You are awesome. Thank you. I will work on focus to head forward. And you're scared. Don't be scared. There's literally nothing to be scared of in life. You can only get it wrong. And when you get it wrong, you learn loads. So you're always going to be a winner. And I understand that sometimes it's when you want to do something, it might shock people around you because you go ahead and do something. But I think the world will lose more if you don't do it. If you know what I mean. And I would just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. It'll all be good. It'll all be good. In one form or another, it will all be good. AUB, let's have a look at you, AUB. So don't be scared. Let me just close off, sort of like Dragon as well. So there you go. Excellent, thanking you. AUB, what was your original question? White Feather is talking to a subscriber regarding typing. It's available to hype a video now on sale on. Do you know what? That's technical things that are way over my head. Me and Cody just get into healing. So, thanking you as well, Dragon. You know what I mean? And do you come back to the next live and tell us how it's going? You'll find that people here tend to support one another. And there's a lot of encouragement, there's a lot of sharing, and a lot of information that we help each other with and everything like that. It's really good. Absolutely brilliant. Mistakes are fabulous, for they enhance... Oh, that moved again. For they enhance spiritual growth. Yes, right, shoulder pain and digestive issues. Right, okay. Let's get on to that, White Feather. Yeah, there's a hype button, and it gives you many more views sometimes. It's 700 or more viewpoints. I do fantastic. Yeah, do that. I'm not sure how that works, but I like that. Have I got to do the hype thing? Is that what I've got to do? I don't know. Someone will explain it to me at some point. Anyway, let's get on to AUB. Let's have a look at your... okay. Do you also get just a little bit of a tightness up in that sort of section there as well? And it almost comes through there as well, and then it goes down onto there. So let's just have a look at that and see what's going on there. There is a bit of pleasure, Sammy. Absolute pleasure. Lovely to see you there. Agree. Chrissy's an awesome community. Yeah. Yeah, it is a good community. We do help each other out, don't we? Between us, we have the solution. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, okay, so let's just have a look on that. Okay. And I thank you very much, AUB, for doing that. For, you know, all that messaging and everything like that is absolutely brilliant. But, and this is where the but comes into it, you know, don't forget about you. What star sign are you? Are you like Virgo? Is that what it feels like? Okay, so people on the like and the hype button, right? Okay, yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, so yeah, do that loads. This was my first YouTube live. I like that your mod is giving tips. Yes, mods. Thank you. Need to know more tricks to help support your lives. Yeah, no, thanking you very much as well, KN and everything like that. It really does help, and Whistle and White Feather as well. That's really good. So hi, Tarot with Amber. So yeah, don't forget about getting back to you, AUB. Sorry about that. You know, don't forget. There seems to be. So you are a Virgo? Is that right? Is that right? That's what I got. You know, that's what I was getting on the Virgo front. Sometimes it's. Let me have it. I'm gonna put my fingers in there again and see what's going on. Let me just get in there. So here we go, in there like that. There is a phrase in France where we say, you know, the worst shoed person in the village is the cobbler, because he's too busy repairing everybody else's shoes, and it's a little bit of a case of that, but it seems to be to do with. Do you have an idea of creating like an association or some sort of group or some sort of thing like that? Is that you know is that what you're sort of like you're getting as well for you? Is that what you want to be doing? You know, because if you're, I think there seems to be some sort of communication. This is great. Where did you learn to do all of this? I'm interested in hearing. I'll come to that in a minute, Little Wave. I'll gladly answer that, but I want to get through the other stuff. But yeah, no, I'll get that to there in a minute. Sorry, Little Wave. AUB, yeah. Are you wanting to start like a? It seems to be some sort of communication involved in this. Some sort of thing that's either. There seems to be some sort of communication factor that's not happening, or you're not allowing yourself to actually go ahead and a little bit like Dragon as well. It's funny that you both asked a similar sort of thing at the same time, but it's almost as if like there's something that you should be doing, you're not quite doing it, sort of thing, and getting a little bit distracted, and your enthusiasm is an amazing thing, but at the same time, it could be the thing that's holding you back. So, because you get lost in your enthusiasm for life, and it is brilliant. Yeah, life is brilliant, but I do think there's certain things that need to be a little bit streamlined, and I think there's certain things that you need to get over the line, as it were. I'm a writer, yeah. Okay? So this is it. Communication. Okay, so are you finding it difficult to do that final full stop and kind of go, okay, it's done. Get the book out there. It's not writer's block. It's writer's perfection. Is that what you're having issues with? Kind of going, oh, I could just change that bit, and I could just change that bit, and you end up, changing so much that it's not. At some point, you got to put a full stop on it and put it out there. Little wave, we will be getting onto that. Is that the sort of thing there? So let's just clear up the painful side of it all, okay? So let's clear up that one for you. Okay, cool. Well, look, at some point, I think sometimes it helps to give it to someone else and kind of go, put a full stop on it, please, and just tell me to move on. And I think someone can help you by just sort of kind of taking it off you by kind of sort of saying, okay, it's done, it's squared off, it's ready to go. And at some point, you got to let it go. You got to let it get out there. And once you go over that, once you open that doorway, there is lots of other stuff to do, don't worry, that you can get majorly enthusiastic about. But I think you need to find the full stop on your book to finally kind of sort of say, I'm putting it out there now. I'm having writer's block at the moment. Is it white feather as well? Yeah, are you? Yeah. I think this week here has not necessarily been the best week for writing books because the energy's been too peaceful. Obviously, the writer's block could go a little bit further than that. But yeah, it's just getting that final thing on it. Okay, I just want to do the last section on the stomach. I don't know, there's issue with family members and stuff like that needs to be dealt with. AUB. Maybe that needs to be dealt with. Or friends, or really close friends, or something like that. There's something that needs to be, dealt with. Let's just clear out that intestines of the emotions and stuff like that. Thank you, Ken. Okay. But I think once you put the full stop on it and put it out there, AUB, I think it will help you a lot with your stomach issues and stuff like that. You'll find a lot more confidence to go into it. Okay. Okay, so there was that one. Tarot with Amber. Hi, how you doing? Who's the Julie? Julie, let's have a look at your back. Just let me check, see if there was someone else. Yes. Hang on a second. I'm just checking through the questions here, so I do apologise. Any suggestions? Right, Julie, let's have a look at your back if you're still with us, and I will have a look at Little Wave as well. I will be getting there, Julie, let's have a look on there. We've had a pleasure, AUB, absolute pleasure. Joy to you. Joy to you. Let's just have a look, because is the back a little bit on the S shape, Julie? Is that what we got? A bit of yes, cool, okay, yeah. It's gonna take a bit of time to outstretch that, and that's all to do with growth spurts when we were younger and so forth, what can come back and bite us in the back side. So yeah, because it's not just, it doesn't seem like it's particularly in one place. I feel like it goes across a lot of the back, as it were, not just on one place. It goes across a lot of the back. So there is obviously the lower part of the back. Okay, let's have a look at that. Pushing things around a bit, giving you a bit more space in that back. Obviously, stretching is absolutely brilliant. You do need that sort of like the prolongation of the back, so it can give it a bit of space in your back. A little bit of yoga would be really sort of like handy, I think, as well. Would help you out enormously. Or even just having those extensions on your back on a daily basis, because it is, once that S shape is sat in place, with old people, you're probably going to gain a couple of centimeters in height as well, and it's just going to be a lot easier for you to, with your mobility and lots of other things, but it takes a bit of time for the back to readjust itself, and everything you can give it in the way of giving it space so it breathes in a way, so you sort of give that space. And swimming is really good and stuff like that, but a bit of yoga would be quite good. Sun salutations and stuff like that, very simple things just to give the space within your back would be really nice. So let's just sort of like get that going there. Okay, and let's just close that off. Thanking you for the homework as well. The plants vibes, loving the plants vibes. These plants here, Matilda's there. And that was Bob, and then I've got a couple over here that's behind us, if that's what you're talking about, Thank you so much for the major patience. Yeah. Yes, so there you go. I think that'll really help you out loads. Julie, and homework, if I've got it right. Yes, the next person, I will be coming on to you, White Feather. Let's have a look at you, Little Wave. Thanking you for being here and what have you. Can you possibly assist with cause of chronic right side of neck, trapped pain, and intermittent right knee pain. Curious about underlying causes. Okay, so let's just have a look at this. Okay, so this is like, what star sign are you, little wave? Was it right knee? Was that right? Have you done it? Good. Excellent. Let me just, where's where you gone? Little wave. Right, and see and the right hand knee. So it's all on the right hand side. Okay. Matilda, Bob, lovely names. Yes, this one here is called. This one here's a new edition. I've had to salvage these because they were in a real poor state. These two, weren't you? And they're all coming up. They're all coming up kosher, coming up roses. And this is June, who's been very nice. She likes her name June. And Gilbert is this one here. That's it, lovely. I've got got another one over there, which is what was the name? What were we calling you? Is it I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name now. Anyway, there's another plant over there. We'll get into that. Trapinus pain trapped. Yes, I got that. So your Gemini sun. Right, okay. That's what I needed to know. Okay, let's get on to sort of like... Okay, so let's get into the knee. Let's do the knee first, because I think that's actually where the part of it comes into it. Okay, so into the knee, the right hand knee, there. There it is. Got it there and there. Okay, the knee is, you get the knee goes like that, okay, in theory. I'll tell you what, you're lucky, little wave. Let's bring up the knee. So you got this knee, and this knee sort of like, it's like, in French, it's called genou. French is a really amazing language for precision. And genou, when you break it up into two words like that, means I and us. And it can be a difficulty of how we put the I in the us, or allow the us in the I, if you know what I mean. And it could be a case of just difficult of engaging in your pleasures in accordance with other people that are around you. And because that may be difficult to do, it means you end up sacrificing your joy or your engagement in life just to help others to engage. That is a major issue for most people. The fact that, we all desperately want to help so much, we forget about helping ourselves. And helping ourselves it's not an egotistical thing. It's not a self-centered thing. It's a natural thing. As I've forgotten who said it earlier on. I think it was Chrissy who sort of said, an empty cup cannot pour. I think that's what it was. Something along those sort of line. Lots of Aries, Mars, Aries rising, Jupiter rising, yeah. So yes. So do you have issues like that at the moment, little wave? This happened after coming down from Bell Rock in Sedona, Arizona. Seems much energy there. Seems so much energy there. Yeah, this Sedona is it's in the northwest of. Is it the northwest of Arizona? If I'm not mistaken. And is it like basil plant called Mr. 40 and a parsley bush called I call Elvis. Elvis Parsley, yeah. Very good. It's like is that what this is amazing. Initially it was both knees and now only the right knee. Okay, so yeah, it's that whole, it's that sort of thing, as I was sort of saying earlier on, is how do you allow the us in the I and the I in the us? And the us can be, it could be energy, is how you allow it to sort of like integrate within your life. But, looking at Gemini at the moment, you've got to, you've got to be draconian in the way you stick to a plan at the moment. It's you got to be draconian in the way in which you sort of approach things in a way. I'd just like to have a look at something because Sedona, because you're talking about Sedona here. Oh no, hang on a second, that's the wrong one. Let's just put that back. Hang on a second. Oh, that's the image there. So Sedona, let's just have a look. We're going a bit off topic here, so we could do this another day. This is my map here. Let me show you. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let me show you my full-on map. Of all just in case for all those who haven't seen it, these are the main energy lines. This is a map I did sort of like 20 years ago. Because I've been doing stuff on, So you got the sacrum, which is up here, which is in Mount Shasta, which is obviously not in Sedona, but vortices and let me try and see if I can see it. There's hang on a second. Cancel that. There is vortices, so vortices across the entire globe. But when you get lines coming in together, and let me just redo that so then you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, this is going really off topic. I'm going to just do this for 2 seconds because this will be just like be able to do this another day on another live. But if you like, you've got so here you've got like the vortices that are coming through here on this section here, and the energy is going that way, and it's also going that way. And what it's doing is in America, it's actually creating a massive thing that covers across the whole of the North America. But usually, if you want to use that crossing point, you don't necessarily put something on a crossing point. You use the vortices that are just by it. So you're going to find vortices around that sort of section there, which will encompass Sedona. Completely off topic. Do apologise. Go back to what we were talking about. Yes. So, is trying to... Chrissy, you're going to get in trouble in a minute. Stop it. Yeah, that's absolutely, thanking you. Right side is masculine. Hold on a second. Where we came back to Little Wave. This is amazing. Trying to get my healing practice off the ground. Okay. first things first, don't try too hard and don't do it for other people. Don't try too hard. Don't. Okay, this is what I say to people as well. For you, Little Wave, you can't heal the world. I can't heal the world, but we can. And the only way that we can exist is if you exist as well. So you might be finding it difficult how to position yourself in regards to the world that is around you. And maybe it's a case here that you need to be draconian in the way in which you do things. And that's where we get into the right shoulder now is you're very nice. Maybe sometimes you're a little bit too nice for your own good, if you know what I mean. And sometimes you need to be, when I started doing healing, which was, I started a long time ago. I started like 30 years ago, when I was a young man, a young kid, really, more than anything else. And then I had a near-death experience when I was 22. And if you want to know about that, you can go over onto the Jeff Mara podcast sort of thing to watch that. But and then I was told, like, I've got to learn about energy. So I was learning about energy, and I learned about it for some time. And then when I was 33, energy sort of said, now you can start doing it. Now you can start working again, going back into sort of energy and so forth. And when we're not trying so hard and we're just sort of like facilitating the thing, and it's got to be a little bit. Oh no, that's the thing. You've got to be draconian about it. Before, when I was learning, when you're an apprentice, you're allowed to offer it to everybody and start saying, someone says, "Oh, I've got a bad hip. Would you like, deal with a bad hip and what have you?" And when I came to that, when I was 33, and the energy said, "Now's the time to start healing," I was no longer allowed to just offer it out there. People had to come to me rather than I had to go to them, as it were, and offer it out as a thing. And, I was doing a lot of freebies and everything like that. But I've got 3 kids, I've got a dog, I've got a house, got all the gubbins to pay for like everybody else. But, and so I put out one card, but, and I gave it to a local shop in a little village. And it just sort of snowballed from there because the timing was right. And this is where I think you need to be sort of like, you have to allow it to come into you, as it were, Little Wave. So you're not sort of like holding it, when I came down the mountain. Okay, sorry, I missed this comment from you. So when I came down the mountain, a ring, oh, hang on, where'd it gone? I've lost it all now. I came down the mountains, a ring of energy surrounded my knees, separated my body, and have had knee pain since then. Okay, so and it could be a way of sort of as I say, being very draconian about it and being business-like, I guess, about it. About your healing center and stuff like that. Because it's just playing in the carrying in the whole world upon your shoulder, on your right hand shoulders. Getting tired. Thank you, Frisia. Thank you. Night to you. Yes, it is getting late. Blimey, what's the time? Blimey, I've been going for so long. We've been going for 2.5 hours. Didn't even realise. Oh my giddy up. YouTube got weird, did it? Right? Yeah, it's bound to get weird. It always gets weird with me, I'll tell you. Night to you. You work so hard for us, dear heart. Oh, thank you very much, Chrissy. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it. Thank you very much as well, Coral. Absolutely lovely. So yes, true. So yeah, let's just finish off with you. I'll get there in a minute. I really will. Little Wave, gonna finish it off. Okay, so let's just take that away because now you got the message. You can just get on and do. Okay? Don't worry about it. You don't have to save the world. Okay? You just need to be there. you know, and it needs to be very clear to the rest of the world that what you're doing. Okay, and then once you do that, I think it will, you know, start gelling for you in a really good way. You know, I think it would go really well because it's actually really good energies for Gemini at the moment. And the readings for Gemini has been really good. And there is a definite timeline shift for Gemini, a real good timeline shift. So let's just finish that off. Okay. There you go. Thanking you very much. There you go. So, yes, I'm so glad for you, Little Wave. I want to learn more about what you are doing here. Okay, so I started seeing energies when I was a young man, and then I had a near-death experience, and I can see magnetic fields around everything, including a cup and what have you. And then, so basically, I've created my own system. I used to have my own healing school. I've seen over 20,000 people as clients over the years. And I created my own system. I do teach it, or I used to teach it. I can give workshops and stuff like that anywhere in the world, but I just need to have enough people. It's a question of finances. Not a great fan of money, but because it's an enabler, but actually it's probably holding us back a lot more these days than what it ever has been. So, you know, and I do sort of like, you know, if there's enough people to come on the workshops, I'll be more than welcome to do it. You need a cup of tea, Tom? I totally do. I've got one there, but and Cody does need to go for a stroll as well. Bless him. You know. So yeah, not you, YouTube. I'll tell you what. Yeah. So yes, it's my own personal system. I work on the logic of what energy. I've never opened up a medical book, so I don't know any of the medical terms. I don't know all the Latin names. I just know how things work because it shows me how things should work. So you get like this, like an energy imprint of how it should work and how it is working. And between the two, it's a bit like Where's Wally or the 10 differences. You start kind of going, oh, look, there's a difference there. What is that difference? Stick my finger in it, get all the details. And that's, in a nutshell, basically, that's what I do. So, you know, I'm worried a lot and having difficulty initiating getting out there. Just at some point, you've got to just do it, Little Wave. At some point, you've got to take the dive. You've got to take that leap of faith. And I would, through your meditation, you ask that question, where should I selectively put out my offers? Rather than just blitzing everything, being very selective about how you do it. And I think that's where you get the good results. And a lot better thing is, good night. Yeah, good night, Chrissy. Yeah. Is Chrissy off, is she? Is Chrissy off? No night, Chrissy. Sorry, I didn't see that. I do apologise, Chrissy. That's interesting. I had a teratoma tumour removed from my ovary, okay? I've heard that that's issues from an unformed fetus. Could well be. Have you gone to bed? No, you haven't. We'll have a look at that as well for you. I need to take a little break in a second, but what was it? There was alabaster. KS. Most don't know. What were you saying about YouTube? Yeah, YouTube. I tell you what, YouTube is really weird sometimes. But completely kicked me off the live. All good now. I tell you what, I lose a lot of subscribers from nothing. I lose, and it's not cut. They don't come off my videos, but they just randomly, they take off like 10, 15 a day for me. It's like sometimes it's a bit weird. Maybe solar flares interfering. Are there any solar flares at the moment? Let me have a quick squiz. Is there any solar flares? I think it's all been very quiet on the solar flare front. Might be a solar flare. I haven't really checked this afternoon or today. Let me just have a look. No, the solar flare seems to be pretty low at the moment. There's not a lot going on in the way of solar activity. Let me just have a quick look on what sort of elements are coming through at the sun at the moment. Corona hole. Earth energy, which is a little bit, there's a big coronal hole going on at the moment. So earthquakes will be ticking back off again, that sort of thing as well. But that earth energy as well doesn't help with joints and so forth. So you're still here. Let's have a look at your ovary. There's something flashing at me. Oh, little wave, thanking you very much. You're an absolute star. Thanking you. I hope it's the right time for you. Okay? You have nothing to lose. Okay. Yeah, no, it's solar flares. There's nothing going on in the way of solar flares at the moment. So, and there hasn't been. That's why the energy's really calmed down loads at the moment. Immensely calm. It is coronal hole energy more than anything else. Feels like solar flares in Australia right now, does it? Steaming it. Well, you're in summer, aren't you? It's normal. It's normal. Let's have a look at your ovary thing, shall we? So, Chrissy, there you go. Is it in the right or the left? I've forgotten what did you actually say if it was in the right or the left? Chrissy. I'm looking for your comment concerning that. Chrissy, is it true from my? Yeah, it doesn't say whether it's right or left. Is it the right or the left? I think Mercury in the retrograde is a lot more important than the solar flares at the moment. So the sun activity is really good at the moment in the sense that it's calm and stuff like that. Nothing really sort of like causing too much trouble. Thank you. It's right. It's off. Mercury. It's right. It's off the charts. Yeah. It was on the left and had the whole thing removed 20 odd years ago. Okay. So you had the whole ovary removed and stuff like that? Do you have any with 5 other planets? The alignments of the planets. I did a video in accordance with a 3-eye atlas. I did it about 3-4 weeks ago now. According to the alignments that happened, definitely 3 or 4 weeks ago because it was on the 4th and 5th of November. And and I was singling about those alignments then at the beginning of November. In fact, I did it before the beginning of November. So it's definitely almost 4 weeks ago that I did that video sort of thing. How many kids do you have? That's what I want to know. How many kids do you have? Retrogrades are always fun. Certainly are. There's nothing like a bit of chaos to make things hilarious. How many kids, Chris? See? Let me have a look, see if you got... okay, so you got 1. I think you got 3. Am I had PCOS, but now post-menopause. Oh, the joy. Do you have kids? That's what I need to know. That's going to be the easiest way to see. I have 2 kids. Okay, yeah, you should have had 3. With fertile treatment and using and 1 natural therapist. Okay, I think you should have had 3. So it's possible, yeah. It's possible. It doesn't. I wouldn't say it's systematic. I wouldn't literally kind of go kissed on the ovary. Oh, therefore it's a kid thing. I wouldn't say that. No. There's not enough. There's not enough evidence to say that is, that it's mainly that. 3 is correct. Last one after my last son. What? Hang on a second. Oh, you have got 3 kids then? 3 is correct. Lost 1 after my last. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You okay about that? Some time ago, I guess. And you do think about it a bit. It's certainly, we can see it within your, because if you want to see how many kids you got, you just look into the solar plexus. You can see where the kids attach. And sometimes you can see kids that are no longer here or didn't make it through the transition, as it were. After my last son. Okay. So, yeah, it could well have been that. You don't get any issues from it now. And you've gone through the menopause and stuff like that. Let's just have a look at your thyroid. Make sure everything's all right on that. Pretty hectic youth. And when I say youth, I'm talking about the first 10 years. It was very busy. It's okay. No worries. Just streamline it, everything like that, so it's a little bit easier for it. Had a miscarriage at early stages. Okay. There's definitely one that one that seemed to touch you more than the other issues in regards to losing something. Filtered water and broccoli sprouts for menopause. Oh, right, okay. Fascia work, yoga, and Pilates seem to ease that. Yeah, there's a lot of there's iodine as sort of like seaweed and stuff like that. For menopause. Menopause takes a long time, and I should do a whole thing on menopause, really, because there's so many things attached to the menopause that we could go into. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go into it today because I've already been going for like 3 hours now. Gee whiz. I'm really sorry. I almost don't want to. Can I? Let me go back and sort of like just look at the comments. Find a muckman. So I'm just reading the comments. This is so lovely. Thank you for sharing your gift. That was Alabaster. Thanking you, Alabaster, for being here. You know what I mean? Absolutely lovely. White feather. That's the one I was missing. White feather. Let's have a look. And Alabaster, you got right muscles. Is the right side masculine side of the body? No, I wouldn't say that. No, I would say no. I wouldn't say that. I would say more the right hand side is to do with expression, art, pleasure. Left is more to do with money, administration, order. That's how I would define those two. I wouldn't define it between masculine and feminine. It doesn't sit right with with me. I'm just answering a question from a long time ago. So let me. I've got to finish off Chrissy. Okay, so lots of traumas in the first 10 years, but healed now. I'm finding I'm in a good balanced place. You sound it and you feel it, Chrissy, you know. But just see that on the thyroid. That's what I was, when I was looking at the thyroid, I could see it was all a bit hectic for the first 10 years of your life. And it would have shot your hormones a little bit all over the place. And there's various other things like a rhythm and stuff like that. Let me just let me just sort of close off that. Thanking you very much. Thanking you. Okay. You started it. I started it. Who's that to? Was that to me or was that to somebody else? Yep. I've had a breakfast almost lunchtime. I love it though. Good. I think I covered everything. Oh, white feather. What was it, white feather, for you? I nearly forgot you there for a minute. Do apologise. What were you saying earlier on? Are you still there, white feather? Just trying to find your message about what you said was to do with. Was it your neck? Yeah, here we go. We're just bringing it up now. Finding it now. Where are you, white feather? Tinnitus. Tinnitus and neck pain. Is that right? Yeah? Okay. So, white feather, there we go. Let's just have a look on that. Did you? Are you still there, white feather? It'd be interesting to know whether you had like a whiplash scenario or fallen on the upper part of your back. You know, on this section here. Is there any? Did you ever have that? Because there is a definite kink in your neck, basically. Are you still there, white feather? No. Are you still there? Anyway, let's just deal with that. Let's get that neck sorted. So there you go. Because that, I think, will help out with the tinnitus. But tinnitus, you're here, right? Okay. Did you have like a whiplash at some point? Let's have a go. Got a funny feeling we're talking 24 years ago or something like that. Skiing accident, and also dived into a pool at the shallow end. Yeah, you know, it's that's like that sort of thing. You know, when was the skiing accident? Was it 24 years ago? 20, maybe, yeah, 24. Was that something around that sort of side? You know, something around the year 1000. Is that when it happened? Did it happen around about the year 1000? That was the thing that's coming up there to me. Let's just straighten out your neck for a start, and maybe that will help us with the tinnitus side of things. Let's just push things around. There we go. There it is there. Excellent. Okay, the other thing I'm just going to have a look into your, I'm going to have a poke around your ears. 1990, so it was like 35 years ago. Right, okay. Something happened about 25 years ago as well. How long have you had the tinnitus? How long have you had the tinnitus? That was the other sort of thing. Yeah, it sometimes delay for the host. It does. There is no doubt about it. You know, ear ringing since about 3 years now. Right, okay. Let me just have a look inside there to see. Is it really high pitched? I'm getting more of a mid pitch rather than anything else. There is a bit of a shh as well, a bit of white noise as well that goes along with it. But let's just try and see if we can straighten that out. It is one of the most complex thing, tinnitus. You know, and it is really, really complex. It is one of the most difficult things to deal with, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. You know, because there's so many different issues that can come from it. And it's a real balancing act. Your husband passed away 21 years ago. Okay. Okay. We'll have a... Yeah. Do you smoke a lot? Was he a very sure man? You know, sure of himself, sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you answer that. High pitched. Okay. Okay. Cool. What was your husband's name? What was your husband's name? Have we seen him before? He seems to be very sure of himself. Did he used to smoke? You know, well, he obviously doesn't smoke anymore. But you know, did he smoke at the time? Yes, there is delays. A bit like Heathrow Airport that sometimes. Anyway, look. Just want to know on that last thing about your husband more than anything else. Tinnitus is linked to the kidney meridian, the TCM. I wonder if treatment to that area would help. We can certainly have a look at it. I think it's tied to a lot of different things. You know, I don't think it's tied to one thing. It can be also down to blood pressure. There's the inner ear as well. It could be down to fluids within the body. Peter, yes, your husband Peter, was he a very sure man of him? You know, was he very sure for himself, sure about himself? You know, and did he smoke? I keep getting the smoking thing coming back. I don't know why, but you know, did he smoke? You know, I just want to make sure so I can get rid of, you know, because this person here smoked very little small cigars, right? Okay, but was he really, was he the sort of person that was confident within himself and stuff like that? That's what I wanted to know. Something about a dog. Something about a small dog or what have you. You know, and you know, don't try. You know, it's like don't. It's not. It's not a case of not just not. Don't try so hard. He's sort of saying, as far as I can tell, if it's him, is that you, Peter? Keep messing him out. Okay, he seems quite funny. You know, I get this very sure person. Yes, he was very sure, smart about everything. Yeah, I get that. You know what I mean? What you want to say to White Feather? You know, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. He wants you to believe in yourself. It's okay. You don't have to try so hard. Start believing in yourself. It's like Neo, you know, in the Matrix. At some point, he starts knowing. And I think that's the same thing with you. Associated with tinnitus, with hearing guides, yeah, there is a degree of that, but it comes and goes. Guides are not going to give you an issue constantly. But yeah, no, I do totally get that, KN as well. So, Peter, my friend, yeah, what happened to him in the end? What happened to him in the end? How did he pass over? I'm getting that area. And what happened to you, my friend? He could be very funny, yes. Yes, he could be very funny. What's the matter, man? Did he have a aneurysm or something like that? You know, that's what that's what I sort of thing getting, sort of thing. General frequency of the environment, yeah, because it's dropped very low with danger very close. Yeah, but when it's all the time, that's the thing. You know, that's the problem. I get it occasionally, very occasionally, yeah, and that's where KN, it totally rings true to me on that. But there is other times when if you're getting it all the time, it's linked to a lot of other things and stuff like that. You know, he had cancer. He died not from the cancer, but he died from a gallbladder. It exploded. Okay, the hospital didn't realise. I know this is difficult to do, but don't be bitter at the hospital. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. White Feather, it's all okay. He's okay. You know. And he desperately wants you to enjoy. He desperately wants you to enjoy. Yeah. You alright, mate? Okay. You ready to go upstairs? Okay, come here, my friend. Take a few. Okay, you got that? Okay, can you see that? Love to you, White Feather. Alright. That's what he's saying. Love to you. Just do it. Okay. Ciao, ciao, my friend. Bye-bye. Okay, let's just finish off this tinnitus thing for you. Okay. There you go. Okay. Just finish off that. There you go. Excellent. Thanking you. Constant for 3 years. Yeah. Is it AUB? Are you off? No, AUB. Thanking you very much. You know, Ursula, my son has tinnitus because he was, when he was young, he had a rupture of an eardrum. Yeah, exactly. Good night, AUB. I know he's okay. Cool. Excellent. I'm glad you know he's okay. That's good, man. It's all come out really good. Absolutely brilliant. If I've missed someone, I do apologise. Thanking you, AUB, for being here. Really do appreciate it. You know, if I've missed anybody, I do apologise. It sometimes happens. Hang on a second. What's this? Interlingers in the shades. Who cares? Who cares about what? Who cares about what? What's that? What's that all about? Lowland Nightshade. What's that? What's that all about? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about what? It's a random comment. Take it easy, wife. Ever enjoy. All right. What's this? Who cares about? I'm worried about this. Who cares now? Low Nightshade. You know, a lot of people care, man, and that's the problem half the time. Thanking you, Dragon. Glad to see you here. You know, glad to see you here. Don't be scared. Just do it. It'd be absolutely brilliant. Thanking everybody who came on here for the first time, new subscribers and everything like that. It's been an absolute joy to see everybody involved. Thanking you, Coral, lovely, Lynn, White Feather, Dragon, Chrissy, thanking you very much. Nunite to you. Julie, lovely to see you as well. AUB, thanking you very much. You know, Little Wave, thanking you very much for being here as well. Ursula, lovely to see you here as well. I'm trying to find the other name. Where's he? There's another person. Little Wave. Alabaster. That's the one I'm trying to look for. Thanking you very much for being here as well and really sort of helping out, getting involved. It really does. You know, together we find the solutions. Together we will find them. You know, so yeah, thanking everybody for being here. Been an absolute joy as per usual. Just making sure I haven't missed anybody. I'm just doing a quick run through, make sure I haven't missed anybody. You know, it's been fantastic. You know, we will be doing more of this. As I said, Frisia, thanking you very much. Absolutely lovely to see you. You know, thanking you for being here as well. Shawnee Grows, thanking you very much for being here as well. I was finding the plant one as well. That's the one I was looking for. Thanking you very much for being here as well. You know, thanking everybody for being here. If I've missed you off, I do apologise. Really do apologise. But you know, Sammy, thanking you very much for joining in. It's always good to see everybody joining in. Absolutely lovely. There was another one I missed, was there? Lindsay, thanking you very much. Lewis, thanking you very much. Susan, thanking you very much. You know, really, really thanking you. What was the other one? 13 Rebel Spirit. Yeah, thanking you as well for all of that. You know, yes. Back here now. You know, I will be putting out a questionnaire on the on the post, a poll. That's what it is. I'm putting out a poll on the posts. So then, for more subjects that maybe we could do next week. As I say, I will be doing the healing channel, which will be coming out in just before Christmas. I'll keep you well informed on that. And we will be doing particular lives regularly of this sort of thing on that channel there as well. But in the meantime, thanking you very much for being here. Very much appreciate all the support you give to this channel. Really do appreciate it. Don't forget, though, life should be fun. So please do enjoy, you know. And now I've got to find out how to turn this thing off. So here we go. And there it is there. So thanking you, thanking you everybody for being here. Yeah, now I can turn it off. Okay, I will see you soon. Take care. Ciao for now. Bye.